Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello. That was me having to footer about again with my stuff. Welcome to Type 10 and Titan Season 4, Episode 2.
Ooh.
Yeah, exciting times. What I have to do now is we broadcast this through StreamYard, and StreamYard, their infinite wisdom, have made it more difficult for me to actually share this stream for reasons known only to themselves. And now I'm basically talking over myself because there's a slight lag on the Facebook feed. And what actually happens now is it creates it as a kind of private event, and then I'm supposed to invite people, like some sort of secret underground swingers club.
Or John inviting people to private dances.
Mm-hmm. If only, yeah, I know, dancer for money.
I'd like to see your private dance. That would be hilarious.
You know, you would love to see my private dance. I'm surprised you didn't see it on Friday night. We were out on Friday night.
We were indeed at a gig for my pal's band, Winona Bleach, who in fact gave me permission a long time ago to use one of their songs as the intro to this, and I still haven't got around to doing it.
Oh, haven't bothered, absolutely. That's it. I'm season 4 now.
Yeah, and funnily enough, the song that they gave me permission to use, they didn't play last night.
Oh, was that
last
the one
night,
you were
Friday
going,
night?
Last night? Was that the one you were going on about?
Yes, I was going on about it, and then they didn't play it. But they played my favourite song of theirs, which is good, Graves.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was a really good night.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, I had a really good time.
But we were indulging in rum that was 75%.
75.5%.
75.5%. You had 3 of them.
I had 3 of them. Yeah, because I'm hardcore.
I had 1, and I sipped it over the course of 2 pints. I finished that 1. And I had to stand on the train because if I sat down, I was going to be sick. It makes no medical sense how you survived.
No medical sense whatsoever. And that wasn't even. And I continued drinking after that as well.
Wow. Yeah, well, it wasn't just the 2 pints in that shot. I did have other shots and other pints, but I had that shot slow because the last time I had booze of that strength, I don't even think it was as strong as that. It was absinthe, and I remember it hitting the back of my throat, and then the next thing it was 3 a.m, and I was naked in my bed, and there was ice on the inside of my windows. I don't know why I decided to get naked.
What a night!
Yeah, it was a good night though. Also had our friend Charlie, who is now living.
Charlie Wallace, friend of the show, who's probably never watched. I don't know why I said friend of the show. He's probably never watched it.
Friend of the people who make the show.
Friend of the people who make the show. It's the same thing, I suppose. It's the same thing. It was good. Did my usual. Drank too much. No repercussions. Everybody's happy. Doctor's confused. Science is baffled.
I was ruined the next day. I was I was really, really hungover. I was so hungover that I didn't go to Comic-Con, which was in Edinburgh that day.
Oops. Sorry. That's what you don't try and keep up with me.
No, that's a mistake that my brother used to make with my dad. One time my dad came to Larne, which is the town I grew up in. It's funny that at one time my dad came to the town I grew up in, and I was smart enough to just drink at the same pace as my pals, who were all like my age. I must have been 18 or 19 or something at the time, maybe early 20s. And my brother went pint for pint with my dad, and my brother ended up doing that thing that some friends do, and I don't know why they do this, although it has been me on occasion. They just vanish. Like, you get to a certain point of the night and they vanish. Yeah. And then my dad, who had only been in the town a few times in his life, decided to go and try and find him, and then phoned me, and he just said, "I can hear the sea, son. Where am I?" It's a fucking port town. You could be anywhere. You could be up a hill and you'd still hear the sea.
Yeah, no, absolutely. No, those are the best nights. I love to sometimes just disappear. I've always got other plans, I'm just like I'm like a hobo. I'm like kind of and constantly in transit.
That's not plans. If you're like a hobo, that's not plans. Although I have had nights where I left at 1 a.m. for a half-hour walk home and didn't get home until 6 a.m.
Yeah, I've done that.
There's something magical about walking around at 4 in the morning.
Yeah. No, I think it's good for the soul.
Yes.
But I never do that. I just try to find the next party.
Just look for lights that are on. I did that in Dundee. There was a party, loads of people on a balcony, and I was in Dundee drinking with Luis, Alcada, and who else was there? Andy Bullock and Ian, who runs the brewery out there, or used to run the brewery out there. And this bunch of people, we were wasted, and there's this bunch of people, like, this was also just after lockdown had ended. A bunch of people on a balcony, and we were shouting up to them, and they were shouting down to us. And then they invited us up, and we went up, and I elbowed my way through the party out to the balcony, where I spotted someone smoking a joint, so I started talking to him, got a bit of the joint, and then the person who was running the party came out to tell us that we don't know who you are. You're
Get
making well leave, and I was like, no worries, I've just blagged half a joint.
out.
So we got kicked out immediately. We were only there for about 3 minutes.
But you still did well out of it. You did well out of it. It's been a while. It's been a while since I've blagged my way into a party. I usually just but yeah, I'm getting too old for that nonsense now.
Yeah, it would need to be a party in a bowls club.
I mean, yeah. So I've ended up in parties that I didn't think I was going to go to, but I was aware of the fact that they were kind of happening. If that makes sense. You say, no, I can't make it. I've got other plans. I'm doing this. You do the other things. 3/4 of the way through, you go, do you know what? I could do both.
Yeah, let's multitask.
Yep, and those are the days where you end up getting home on Tuesday.
Yeah, it's like that old Mickey Flanagan bit where he's talking about being out and being out's getting, and you have to tell everyone I was only out, and then your pals spot you and they're like, oh, come on, come out, and he says, I'm out, and he says, and you tell everyone because you feel like you have to justify why you've got 2 liters of milk and a cut loaf in your bag, and you're in your jammies at the club. Has he put anything out? I don't even know if Mickey Flanagan's put anything out in years. I think it's been 10 years maybe since his last special.
Yeah, the only comedy I watch now is me.
Yeah,
that's how arrogant I am. I just sit and watch previous gigs that I've done in a loop.
I like how you're using a TV remote as if it's on TV.
That was my yes, a Netflix special. No, I could use my Fire Stick to go into YouTube.
Okay, fair enough.
I didn't know, but I mean, I had to give you some sort of like understanding, or the viewers some sort of understanding of what I was doing. I couldn't just sit there going, I just watched me in a loop. I could have done that, but it looked like
watching you in a loop. Is that not just the mirror?
Absolutely. Just don't break eye contact. Don't miss a stroke.
An endless monologue. It's like King Lear.
You do a different Lear when you're young than you do when you're old.
Yeah.
20-year-old and 80-year-old. Anyway, sorry, I feel like we're deviating from the point somewhat. It's not like it. We're 9.5 minutes in. This is Tight 10 and Titan. We were going to keep it tight today because we just, you know, Chris and I, because we've seen each other this week, we just can't stand to be around each other for too long. So we're going to make this quite a tight one.
We only have professional chemistry. Off camera, we absolutely hate each other.
Despise one another. You always read, you know, like kind of clickbait articles. Co-stars who hated each other in real life.
Yeah. It's funny that like there's a very famous in Japan, Japanese manzai duo called Downtown. They made their like TV debut in like 18 or something, and then they just took over Japanese comedy. They have like 5 shows every week on like prime time, and they basically have ran it, and I think they're 60 something now. So they've been like nothing but net for like 42 years, but they literally don't talk at all outside of the
Really?
studio. But they are in the studio most of the week.
Yeah,
And
no, they
the
probably
fun
don't
with
have time
them,
for anything else.
they have this special every year that has this like big premise to it, but essentially it's them two plus three other comedians are put in this situation where they're not allowed to laugh, and they all have this like break room that they stay in, and every year when it starts getting on to the evening, like because it's 24 hours at last, so when it starts getting on to like the real evening and everyone's patience run out, they purposefully give the three other comedians something to do and then just leave those two in a room together, and the conversation's always fucking hilarious because they just don't get on anymore. They're just sitting like Matsumoto, who's in my opinion, the funnier one. They're both very funny, but he will be like, "This is my least favorite part of the year when they put me in a room with you and nothing to do."
Do you think that maybe they've cultivated this fake dislike of each other? Or do you think they genuinely don't like one another?
It is supremely awkward in those situations because they were they grew up together and they were like best friends as kids, and they have all these really hilarious stories about each other. But it is truly uncomfortable whenever they're like stuck together in a room.
It was like, do you remember when Simon and Garfunkel got back together for some gigs? Uh,
Yeah,
Obviously, one of them needed money, and they were
yeah.
apparently coming on the stage from separate sides. And
Yeah, they
just,
hadn't seen each other in 30
yeah,
years still.
hello, darkness, my old friend. And it's really weird because I commented to somebody that considering Simon and Garfunkel, right? I don't know why was this for a tangent. You know, Paul Simon wrote most of the Simon and Garfunkel stuff, if not
Yeah.
all, right? And if you notice, practically every Simon and Garfunkel song is written in first person singular. And it's just not designed for a duet, for a
Yeah,
duo.
he just couldn't get rid of him. He was just
Yeah,
stuck.
you once you notice it, you can't unnotice it. If you just pick any Simon and Garfunkel song at random, and it only works as first person singular.
He was just an extra. He could play some notes. That was it. That was his entire contribution.
And it's even by our standards, this is quite a tangent and a half. I don't know. Just
Well, the other one as well. The members of Pink Floyd didn't get on famously, and also Blink-182 are coming back for a tour with the original well, not the original members because one of them got kicked out, but with Travis, Tom, and Mark. And that tour is going to Belfast and Glasgow, and I'm going to try and see it with my pals. But I don't know how that's going to work because even all my friends have said that like Tom is crazy. Like Tom believes in aliens and thinks that he's going to get like killed because he knows too much and stuff like that. But but every single time the band has split up, which has been many times, always been Tom's fault, and the hubris of them planning a full tour and not expecting him to just fuck off at some
never going to
point.
make it.
No, they're not. They're absolutely not. And they don't come to Belfast until September next year, so I don't think it's going to happen. But
And you know, if they don't fall out, the aliens will get them.
well, exactly. See,
It's one or
they
the
put
other.
that song out years ago. Aliens exist. You know, hey mom, there's something in the back room. Hope it's not the creatures from above. We didn't realize that Tom was being dead serious when he wrote that song.
Wouldn't it be great? Wouldn't it be great? Like, do you remember in the X-Files when they had like the massive kind of conspiracy story arc, and there were people within the government that were trying to kind of make sure that people didn't know that aliens existed. They went to kind of nefarious ends to ensure that
No, but I'll take your word for it. I never actually watched
it
X-Files.
didn't come out. It'd just be great if like someone just recorded a song saying, "Hey mum, aliens are real," blah blah blah, and there's these guys in a kind of basement in Washington going, "We need to eliminate them."
Yeah, this is too much. It's like that time that Eminem not right. Eminem had a track that was about assassinating the president, and like he ended up on a watch list for that. It's like, really? You'd see him coming a mile away. That's back when he had like bleached white hair.
Absolutely, yeah, you wouldn't miss him.
And now he's got the dark and mysterious look.
Yeah, that's it. It's just kind of it's really. I remember seeing a thing on YouTube where no, on YouTube, sorry, on Facebook where it just showed you loads of pictures of kind of Eminem's forehead, and it just said the only person you can just tell immediately from
Yeah.
and it's true. My brother's on the stream. Andrew's watching. He's just asked how things are. Hi, Andrew. Yeah, no, I'm okay. How are you?
We'll just wait. No, we're not allowed to say anything until he responds.
We're not allowed to say it. No, absolutely. Right. Anyway, sorry. We should go on.
Mm-hmm. You will be happy to know I have come up with a name for my character.
Oh God, yeah. No, absolutely. I am very excited by that.
I don't know if it's going to fit, and I am currently trying to remember how to change my name. Oh, I found it. Will this fit? That's the real question. But I don't think it will.
Wait. So do you want to tell us now, or
it's already on screen?
Augustus just trust.
Augustus just trust us.
I like it. I like Augustus just trust us.
It's the name of a sort of a wheeler dealery type fella, you know. He's step right up. Welcome to the Emporium. Augustus just trust us. Wondurium Emporium. He's a sort of a Cockney blagger in my mind.
That's just reminded me. That's just reminded me of an idea for a TV show I had years and years.
To me, Dragon's Den, even though that's not what they do on Dragon's Den.
It's not what they do in Dragon's Den. It's not what they do in Dragon's Den. But I had an idea for a TV show years and years ago, and I've decided not to tell you what it's about. But there you go. Your Emporium Wondorium reminded me of like a really stupid, surreal idea I had years ago for a TV show.
Is it Twin Peaks-esque?
It's not Twin Peaks-esque. It was just ridiculous.
But you can't do all this. No, I really want to hear about it.
It was a okay. Here we go.
Yes.
We're supposed to get on with the show. It was a guy. And it was based on the fact that when I was younger, I used to fit louver blinds.
Okay.
I used to fit louver blinds, and the idea behind the show was that there was this cop. There was this cop that was just kind of really stressed out because he was trying to solve a murder. He was trying to solve a murder, and he just wasn't getting anywhere. And it had international connections. This murder had international connections. It was like a cartel. It was set in the UK, and then in comes so he's the kind of he's the kind of, it's like a kind of double hander. So there's two main characters. So he's one of the main characters. The other character is the guy that comes to fit blinds. Right?
Okay.
There's a guy that comes to fit blinds, and he works for his pal Frank, who happens to be dyslexic.
Sure.
I don't know if it's dyslexic or illiterate because it doesn't actually follow the markers for dyslexia, right?
Right.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. His pal Frank had come up with an idea for a business selling and fitting blinds, and
Sure.
they called the place Frank's Blind Emporium.
Right.
And because he couldn't spell correctly, he spelled Emporium with an I. So the guy comes along and says, "I'm here, I'm here for the FBI." And then suddenly this cop is, and the whole concept was the fact that because of this guy's dyslexic boss, he gets embroiled in this.
he just blags his way into it.
Even though he's just trying to fit blinds. Next thing you know, they're on this kind of international kind of case that involves a mafia.
What's this?
What? No, I should have written more than kind of cursory concept. Because the problem is that in real life you just kind of go FBI, and then the guy go, "Oh, you're the FBI," and in real life the guy would kind of go, oh no, that's just the name of the company. I'm here to fight your blind. Of
Yeah,
course, if you get beyond, that's probably why I didn't have the patience to write it. But it was supposed to be like this kind of 6-part, half-hour mystery where he gets involved. And of course, it would hit the kind of standard thing that at the end of episode 5, the cop would realise that he wasn't really working for the FBI. And that point.
But he was just so damn good though that he couldn't give him up. He couldn't give him back to the Emporium.
Absolutely. So that's the thing, because that's what happens in every single show like that. In episode 5, it all comes out, and then in the sixth episode, you'll have just kind of people looking at windows, kind of, don't think I can do this without him, and then
yeah, that's exactly how it goes. I don't care if I lose my badge. I'm getting him back on the case.
That was my ridiculous idea that I think I wrote about 2.5 pages of.
I'm surprised you got that far.
I know. So there you go. I don't know why that came. This is a weird one, isn't it? This is telling you all my terrible ideas. Yeah, I used to just constantly write, which is ironic because now that I actually do comedy, I don't write a fucking thing.
Yeah, it reminds me of that thing. In order to write, a comedian needs to be in a certain mindset, and that mindset is last minute panic. That's exactly how it is. I'm the same. I had this when I was still doing comedy sort of properly. So I guess the last time I would have contributed to this would have been in January or February. I had this writing group, and we wrote so many like sketch ideas that just went nowhere. But there was one that is dear to my heart, which was actually funny enough that we bring Blink-182 up, or that I brought Blink-182 up earlier, because the idea would be like a pop punk obsessive that never got over, pop punk kind of dying out. And one of the sketches involving him was that he was trying to sneak on to like Blink-182's tour bus, but in Belfast. But he accidentally sneaks onto a pipe band's tour bus, and he comes in, and it's like, a scene where like, he sits down and he's like, I can't believe I've done it. I can't believe I got onto Blink's bus. And then he turns around and there's just all these really hard like pipers and big paramilitary boys staring at him. And the implication is that he's going to get his shite kicked in, but then it cuts back after, I don't know, maybe another sketch or something, and he's got all the pipers playing Blink-182 songs on the bus.
Yeah, I like it.
So that's stupid.
We should. Do you know what we should do? We should just watch these streams after we've done it, and then just go, "Oh shit, that was quite a good idea." And
we should write them down.
Yeah, because I mean, sorry,
I'd say we should do a reaction to our own.
We should, absolutely. I just remember years ago just being amongst pals and just the crazy shit you come out in the middle of the night. I mean, that's brilliant. And the next day you go, no, I can't remember it, or it was a terrible idea.
Yeah,
and
that's true. I mean,
a wee bit Richard Nixon. A wee bit Richard Nixon. He'd record everything. And you just go,
Steve-O does that too. Steve-O has like infinite tapes of his whole life, which some poor man had to go through and sort all of them onto hard drives, and then it showed you, like, obviously it was tapes and tapes and tapes that like filled a fucking basement or something, and then it showed you his entire life was like brought down to still quite a lot of hard drives, like 30 hard drives, but like just on a shelf.
A lot of hard drives.
Yes, a lot of hard drives. It's like that is hundreds of thousands of hours of footage. No doubt. I don't know if that's that many hours in somebody's life, I'll be honest, but
I don't know either. Yeah,
well, we'll get a fact checker on that.
Well, I'm sure somebody will pop up. My brother might be going at it with a calculator right now. I don't know.
Doubtful.
I'd be very surprised.
Kind of dedication.
I'd be very surprised if he was. Andrew, if you've got a calculator handy, tell us. Right, a terabyte hard drive. No, terabyte hard drive walks into a bar. Right, we should probably start. 25 minutes.
Yeah, let's go for it. Let's go for it, because we have done exactly zero of we haven't made a single choice yet.
We haven't made a single choice yet, but we did, you know, I did have a 7-page monologue last week.
That's right. It was a full 7 pages, wasn't it?
Yeah, so I mean, I did. You know, I did my I did my duty last week. So we'll start. Right, so yeah, so this is a new season. We did Next to Nothing. This is Death Trap Dungeon. Yep. Oh, Siri thinks I'm talking to as always. Siri always gets an appearance. Apple should start paying us money for Siri's appearances.
I don't think it's going to happen.
Basically, the premise is that Augustus just trusts is taking part in this year's Trial of Champions, and he needs to make his way through a kind of labyrinthine maze to get to the end of it and win the prize.
I just found one of my old set lists.
Hey, you're going to do it?
Honestly, I don't remember what half of these mean.
I do that all the time. It's just talk about your gran.
Yeah, your gran was hilarious.
Talk about your gran for 5 minutes. It's really weird because obviously, you know, I do put some element of effort into my comedy. I mean, it'd be a complete lie to say otherwise, but people never quite believe that I don't write it. I just kind of make like a concept and hope for the best.
It's a good way to do it. Well, no, maybe it's not. It's a good way for you to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. I wouldn't. That's the thing, because I've actually had people asking me for comedy advice. Anybody that does ask me for comedy advice is by their very nature a complete idiot. But I have had people ask me for comedy advice, and I always think, don't ever do it the way I do it, because it's ridiculous and it's
it's not. It takes an abnormal mind to approach it.
Absolutely. I know exactly. Don't make the same mistakes I made. That's why I'll never be big. I don't want to be big.
I've literally just spent ages going through my drawer looking for my character sheet, and now that I see it's over there on the ground, hold on.
Right. Anyway, so while you're doing that, I'll just remind the viewers. Augustus Trustus is engaged in this year's Trial of Champions, where he has to go through a labyrinthine still maze. Nobody's ever succeeded. There's a massive prize at the end. You've walked through. You had a cracking time in the town in the week running up to it.
Oh yeah,
slightly hungover. And now you're going to work your way through this dungeon and see if you can survive it. And that's where we're at. That's kind of what happened last week.
And according to the blurb or the intro, there is only one correct path. So the chances of us actually getting that path is somewhere between slim and none.
I've got a good feeling this season. I've got a good
You have literally said that every season.
I have. Absolutely have.
Okay, I've written the name on the character sheet. It is now official. Augustus
Trustus is about to get into it. So basically, we ended with you kind of walking through. You're now into the dungeon. You're going to have a whalia time. You're going to be fighting monsters. You're going to be there are other people as well engaged in it. So there's barbarians and elves and an assassin as well, is that right?
Everyone is ahead of us except for one barbarian who's behind us.
There's a barbarian behind you, which sounds like a really terrible idea for a sitcom. There's a barbarian behind you.
I was thinking it's like it's the title of erotica. There's a barbarian
behind you, and another barbarian.
The barbarian behind you. That would be the title. The barbarian behind you, and it would be like one arm, like one thick, muscly arm, and then it would be a woman, like a bit lightheaded. You went Walt Disney for a second there.
Oh, did I go Walt Disney? You've just reminded me. I know it's on Dropout TV. Mention Dropout TV, and this time I'm not going to mention 20. there's a show where there's two people discussing erotic literature. Have you seen that?
I haven't seen it. I've heard it. It's Jess Ross and
Yes.
who's the other one? I can't remember who the other one is.
I
But
quite
lovely
fancy
dude.
watching it.
Yeah, it does sound. Is that the one where they write it? Yeah.
I'm
the
not.
There's one where they write it and there's one where they review it, I think.
I think it's the one where they review it that I saw.
If you haven't watched Dirty Laundry, watch that. That's the one that Lily Do hosts, and it's basically the premise is they have a host, a bartender who is always Grant, because apparently Grant's a cocktail nerd, and then 4 contestants. And the idea is that everyone writes down secrets beforehand, and then the host reads them out, and you have to guess. You have to have a discussion, and in that discussion, you have to try and ascertain who the secret is. So Jess Ross revealed in one of hers that she and her girlfriend, or I suppose wife now, her and her wife fingered each other on a New York subway.
That's what the song New York Minutes about.
Yeah.
I definitely have to watch more Dropout TV. If anybody's watching, Dropout TV is the place to be. I've been binging Dimension 20, but maybe I need to branch out a little bit.
Yeah, there's a lot of good shows on there, funnily enough.
Yep. So,
I'm sure there must be a lot of shite too.
I'm sure there is. The excitement's trying to kind of discover what the shite is and what the good stuff is. So that's part of the fun.
I do remember College Humor. You know, they've been around. They're probably as old as the internet. You know,
Probably.
internet videos and stuff now. But I do remember one sketch sticks out in my. Well, 2 sketches stick out in my mind. One is the Super Punch, which was.
Oh yeah.
Have you seen that one, the Super Punch?
Yes, I have. Yes.
God damn, that's so old as well. It's like what was it? There's only been 2 known users of the Super Punch, and I can't remember who it was, but one of them was Jesus Christ. And then the other one I remember is The Perfect Woman. Did you ever see that one? I think it's from like Hardly Working. And it's like that, all those jokes about, you know, all those sort of like misogynistic flavored jokes about like, the perfect woman's 3 feet tall with a flat head, so you can rest a beer in her head, and or a woman's like, it's like all these like little jokes, and then they're like, oh, imagine how stupid it would look if a woman actually looked like that. And then one of the guys gets really offended and then shows him a picture of his wife, and it's a woman with all those qualities. She's got a big flat head and all. It's like, how dare you say that about my wife?
Excellent. Right. Now you can't see the top of my head. Sorry. Right, here we go. Let's start. Right. So your question. We're only 33 minutes in. We're keeping it tight tonight because that's a clear 10 minutes earlier than we usually start.
That's where the 10 and tight 10 comes from.
That is where the 10 and tight 10 comes from. Right. Let's get my pencil. Got my dice.
I'm not sure what I just saw there. Is that Princess Peach climbing out of a pipe? Or
yes,
it's climbing out of a Nintendo. I couldn't see her Game Boy.
The ring meets Game Boy.
Ah, I like that. That's cool.
So that's a T-shirt of the night.
I need to get more T-shirts.
I need to get less T-shirts.
I don't know where. By the way, I bought a T-shirt. You'll remember on Friday night, and I don't know where I've put it.
Oh no! You were quite excited that you bought the last one.
I know, but it was extra large, so
you're hoping to grow into it.
Yeah. Do you know what?
Did I not offer to wash it for you because I'm renowned for like shrinking clothes?
Yeah, you did. I'll find it because I'm gonna wear it. I'm gonna wear it to bed tonight because it's like huge. It'll be like a nice jammy top.
Just
I have to try and find it.
Holding a teddy bear.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, I gave my son was desperate for a Dalek T-shirt.
Oh yeah.
He was dead because I'm a massive Doctor Who fan. For anybody that's watching that didn't fucking know that, and Scott was quite intrigued with the Daleks. And he wanted a Dalek T-shirt, and I couldn't find any children's Dalek T-shirts. And I said, look, well, you know, the smallest Dalek t-shirt I can get you will be like down to your ankles sort of thing.
Yeah.
The
Daleks, like, credit to Doctor Who for holding on to their guns, but let's be real, the Daleks and the Cybermen look shit. Like, they look so shit. I'm hurting, Josh. You're actually hurting inside right now. This is going to drive a wedge.
I just kind of go, I need a minute. Right,
from any sci-fi show.
I'm just, but so anyway, I said to him, and he's still adamant he wanted this Dalek t-shirt. So I got him this Dalek t-shirt, and sure enough, he did wear it to bed, but he looked like this wee kind of Dalek ghost. It just kind of like completely covered him, just his little head, and he actually looked like a Dalek because it was just like his head, and then that's just kind of.
and the Daleks themselves, are they? I seem to remember that revealed a Dalek once, but I can't remember what it looked like. But in my head, it looks like a little thing of pink jelly, basically.
Yes, we.
What have they got? Why have they all got those costumes for?
Because they can't survive outside.
Yeah, but why don't they mix it up with, like, maybe have one be like a fighter jet or have one be something different?
Because it's not Transformers, Chris.
Oh, it might be. It might. Well, I mean,
tape deck.
If I was the Dalek, I'd want a different outfit.
Yeah, but that's the thing. They're single-minded, and they've discovered what they think's the kind of perfect kind of war machine, and they all just kind of.
It's really funny to me that that's what they think the perfect war machine is.
Right, anyway.
War machine. Okay, let's go.
No, I mean, just don't slag off the Dalek. Right, we're going to start, right? Okay. So you've gone into the dungeon. Augustus, just trust us, right? The clamour of excited spectators gradually fades behind you as you venture deep into the gloom of the cavern tunnel.
Worst spectator sport ever.
Exactly. That's right. We mentioned that last week.
Yes, we did mention last time that in our heads and now in the canon of this story, there are cameras placed throughout this place. Otherwise, what is the point of this festival? Like, why would anyone want to watch this? Because there's nothing to watch.
So yeah, we've got that. There's all these kind of little kind of stone cameras floating about magically,
or even just like little scrying orbs.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Or disembodied eyes,
just kind of blinking at you. Large crystals hang from the tunnel roof at 20-meter intervals, radiating a soft light just enough for you to see your way. That's convenient. I'm assuming that they put that in. That was part of the design.
Yeah, it's so the cameras can see you better.
Absolutely. As your eyes gradually become accustomed to the near darkness, you begin to see movement all around. Spiders and beetles crawling up and down the chiseled walls disappear quickly into cracks and crevices as they sense your approach. Rats and mice scurry along the floor ahead of you. Droplets of water drip into small pools with an eerie plopping sound which echoes down the tunnel. The air is cold, moist, and dank. After walking slowly along the tunnel for around about 5 minutes, you arrive at a stone table standing against the wall to your left. On it, there are 6 boxes, one of which has the name Augustus Just Trust Us on the lid. And you've got the choices of opening the box or continuing on your journey.
No, I mean, it's got my name on it. I literally, I can open it. It's got to be a really, really confident player that's like, nah, let's just leave. We won't be using that.
It's not for me.
It's like night vision goggles and a semi-automatic rifle.
So you're going to open it then?
Yeah, of course. It's got my name on it.
Good. Imagine if we had just babbled, right? We had just babbled, and then we were an hour in, and you're just kind of going, right, you've got the choice of opening or not. See you next week. And you're like, oh,
Yeah. One choice at a time, one choice per week.
and we still don't make it to 12 episodes. You lift the lid of the box lifts off easily. Inside, you find 2 gold pieces and a note written on a small piece of parchment addressed to you. After
Sure.
placing the gold in your pocket, you've got 2 gold pieces. Stick it in your inventory.
Presumably, those gold pieces are to be put over my eyes when I die. Okay,
After
gold.
placing the gold in your pocket, you read the message which says, "Well done. At least you have the sense to stop and take advantage of the token aid given to you. Now I can advise you will need to find and use several items if you hope to pass triumphantly through my death trap dungeon." Signed,
So this is
Succubus.
literally the mission. It's like if we didn't do this, we wouldn't even know what we're looking for.
Just kind of wondering about. Memorize the advice in the note. Really? Why do you need to memorize that? I'll reread it for you, and you tell me whether you feel the need to memorize this. Well done. At least you have the sense to stop and take advantage of the grenade to you. I can advise that you will need to find and use several items if you hope to pass triumphantly through my death trap dungeon. Signed, Succubus. Memorize that because it's important. Really?
We need to wait. It doesn't even say what items. It just says several items.
gives you fuck all information.
What the hell's
really,
that?
gives you nothing, right? So you memorize this useless advice on the note and you tear it into tiny pieces and continue north along the tunnel. Before you do so, why was it that the first person to come along didn't say, "Oh shit, right, well I'll just take all the gold pieces from all the other boxes."
You would open every box like if you
Every
were
box.
first in. Absolutely, that makes absolutely no sense.
You expect kind of going, you open up the box and written in the box a mixture of blood and semen is the word cunt.
yeah. The assassin has placed a poisonous trap inside the box.
That's it, and then you die. The end.
Yeah, the first person should trap all the boxes. That makes the most sense.
I know. Unless there's some sort of magic on it that you can't specifically open somebody else's box. But I mean, it doesn't really go into that much detail. I can't imagine a situation where somebody kind of would go, "Oh, 2 gold pieces. I'll have some of that then." These are people that are inevitably probably going to have to fight the other 5 people to the death. And they think, "Well, I can't steal their 2 gold pieces, can I?"
You'd at least shake the boxes and hear
You'd
the
give it a
gold and
wee
be like,
shake.
"Oh, I guess everyone's got their own thing." Or maybe nobody else did. Maybe they just gave this to Augustus Just Trustus because he's a wheeler dealer. Maybe the barbarian got like a potion of strength and the assassin got, I don't know, a vial of poison or something.
That's a fair point. You don't know. Or maybe just when people go in, there's like this little kind of creature scuttles out and puts the gold in one box and then buggers off. And then they did open another box. Well, oh, these are empty. I don't know. I mean, we could sit here and we could speculate for the next 16 minutes and 8 seconds.
Yeah, we could, or we could move on to the next
We'll
choice.
move on. Head northwards.
Yep. I mean, how do we tell? But never mind.
It just says you're heading north because you walked. You knew you were heading north as you walked in the tunnel, and it's just been one long route thus far. Just
True.
go with the flow. There's a big sign saying north. Oh, excuse me. After walking down the tunnel for a few minutes, you come to a junction. A white arrow painted in one wall points west. On the floor, you can see wet footprints made by those who entered before you. It's hard to be sure, but it looks as though 3 of them followed the directions of the arrow, while 1 decided to go east. So you've got the choices of going west or going east. So 3 people went west, 1 person went east.
So 3 people followed the arrow and 1 person. So, I mean, following the arrow probably seems like a good way to go. But on the other hand, that person is alone. So maybe they're easier to take out. Do you know what I mean? Like, if I know that I'm coming up behind them and there's only 1 of them, that gives me a much better chance to deal with them than it would trying to deal with 3 people. But
That's a fair point.
let's go with the arrow. Fuck it. I feel
You're
like
going to go
the
with arrow.
Go west.
Go west. You going to do it? You're going to go west?
We're going to ride west into the Californian sun.
Oh, I'm quite excited by that.
Mm.
Let's do it.
California sun was unforgettable.
Do you want, right? Here's your choice. Do you want to do a deleted scene when we go east?
Yeah, kind of. Although I feel like this is the very first branch on the tree, and both end up going infinitely. So
okay, no, fair enough. Right? Okay, well, we won't then.
No, we will. We will unless we find
will.
something better. Unless we find
Right.
something better.
Okay, so far, right? I'll just write. I'm just going to scribble down deleted scenes.
Fuck, I'm shattered.
I know you're shattered. Maybe you don't want a deleted scene this week. You can decide when we get there.
Aye.
Right, so you're heading west. Following the 3 sets of wet footprints along the west passage of the tunnel, you soon arrive at a junction. You can continue west following 2 sets of footprints or head north following the 3rd set of footprints.
Huh. So we just,
Is this whole game
follow?
just going to be following footprints?
I mean, if you're at the back of the pack, then I suppose it is. Why would 2 people go west? I mean, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I feel like I want to go west again.
Okay.
Let's not fuck about with these choices. These are easy ones.
Well, we'll find out. Walking through the tunnel, you're surprised to see a large iron bell hanging down from the ceiling.
Okay.
You've got the choice of ringing the bell or rather walking round it and continuing west.
Ring the bell. Let's go.
You got it?
Yeah, why not? I mean, I'll be telling everyone where we are, but may as well.
Let's do it. The dull bong sounds from the bell like a death toll. Everything around you starts to vibrate and you grit your teeth as your head too starts to shudder. Your whole body trembles. Excuse me. That was the weirdest cough ever. Your whole body's trembling and you fall to the floor. You quiver and shake, writhing convulsively on the floor as the vibrations intensify.
I forgot that this place was called Death Trap Dungeon.
Death Trap Dungeon. You lose 2 skill points and 2 stamina points.
Oh my god, for ringing a bell?
Yep.
Jesus. This is brutal. Okay, yeah, I don't think I'm making it to week 3.
You search desperately for a way to stop the bell. You get the choices of screaming as loudly as you can or trying to deaden the bell with your boot.
Oh, fuck.
It might not make that week too.
In for a penny, let's boot it.
You want to boot it?
Yes, fuck it.
You pull the boot off your foot and force yourself to reach up and hold it against the bell. Slowly, the bell stops vibrating and the pain in your body gradually eases. You manage to stand up, but you do not release your boot from the bell until it becomes completely still. You put your boot back in your foot and then continue west.
Should have just left the bell alone.
Just left the bell alone.
Oh,
Can I just... now you've got the choice of, do you want to know what happens if you screamed as loud as you can?
Yeah, I kind of do. That's more interesting than going the other way.
Right. Right, that's our deleted scene. Right, there we go.
I'll do.
Let me go. You continue west.
Aye.
The tunnel veers sharply to the right and continues north for as far as you can see. You hear a tremendous commotion in the distance, growling and snarling and howling. You draw your sword, and set off in the direction of the noise.
Okay.
Fucking hell, this is intense, isn't it?
Very, yeah. It's only like 3 choices in it already. I've taken multiple stats worth of damage.
Sorry, I'm just.
I can't believe it hit my skill. That's really brutal this early on. What if I'd rolled really low in skill, like, and I only had 7? I would have been down to 5 now.
It's a bit shit, isn't it? Yeah, this is called Death Trap Dungeon for a reason, I think.
Yeah.
Ahead in the dim light, you see 2 hobgoblins fighting. What are they like, those hobgoblins?
I know, right?
Punching and kicking each other furiously. There's a leather bag lying on the floor, and it seems to be this that they're fighting over. You've got the choices of trying to talk to them, attacking them with your sword, or try to slip past them unnoticed.
Let's try and slip past them unnoticed. We've already taken a lot of damage.
Yeah. You creep up behind the fighting hobgoblins and, leaping out of the shadows, push them into the wall as you run by.
What?
You look back to see them sprawled on the floor and chuckle to yourself as you hurry north.
Yes, that felt like a good choice.
The tunnel soon takes another sharp right turn. Following it east, you arrive at a strange obstruction, a line of 12 wooden poles across the tunnel. They are fixed to the walls about half a metre off the floor and spaced a metre apart. Do you want to step between the poles or walk across the top of the poles?
Oh, Jesus, that's such a shit choice. So go between the poles or try and balance on top of the poles. Fuck. Do you know what? Let's be bold as brass about this. Let's go on top of the poles. This is a terrible idea, but it seems fun to me.
Here we go. You step confidently onto the first pole and stride across to the next. As you land on the third pole, immediately release a shower of sharp splinters, each several centimetres long. Lose 2 luck points.
Oh my god. Oh, Jesus.
You fly out in all directions at great speed and you cannot avoid being hit. Roll 2 dice for the number of splinters that sink into your flesh.
Oh, for fuck's
You
sake.
have to roll 2 dice. You have to roll 2 dice, and each one reduces your stamina by 1 point.
Wait, what?
You have to roll 2 dice.
Each thing we get. Right, I actually do have my dice this week. How about you roll one and I'll roll the other?
You want me to roll one and you roll the other?
Aye, 2 seconds. I'll just grab them.
This is ridiculous. This is horrific. This game is brutal.
Okay, got a D6.
This game is brutal.
It's very brutal. I feel like this is the game so far where I feel like if we die in like the first couple of episodes, we need to we need to start again.
Yeah, no, I'd agree with you.
Because this seems like death is imminent.
Let's
Oh,
do it.
for fuck's sake!
What did you get?
4.
I got a 4 as well.
8 damage. Oh,
Your stamina is down to 8.
I've taken 10 damage in like
Taking
3
10 damage
choices.
in one episode. You're looking back at the time I mean, looking back fondly in last week where we made no choices. If you're still alive, you manage to scramble over the remaining poles and sit down to the painful task of removing the splinters from your body. After resting a while, you set off east again. This is horrific.
Yeah, I feel like I'm actually going to try and push to kill us in the next 5 minutes. That's how.
Start again.
Maybe this season is just how can I die each week?
How can I die?
Death of the week.
The tunnel ends at a junction. The footprints you've been following turn north, and you decide to stay with them.
Sure.
Because why wouldn't you? Because they've held you in good stead thus far.
Yeah.
You soon come to another junction in the tunnel. One branch leads east, but the wet footprints you've been following continue north, and you decide to continue following their trail.
It's just railroading me now.
Yep. The passage opens up onto a wide cavern, which is darker but much drier. Ahead, you see the large footprints gradually fade and disappear. There's a large idol in the center of the cavern, standing approximately 6 meters high. Here's a picture of it.
Wow, it's a chunky boy. He looks a bit like Mr. Potato Head or the Tato Man,
So there you go.
or a
That's
gingerbread man.
hello. A gingerbread man eating his own product. You never sample your own product.
No,
It has jeweled eyes, each as big as your fist. There are two giant stuffed bird-like creatures standing on either side of the idol. You've got the choices of climbing the idol to take the jewels, or just walking through the cavern to the tunnel on the opposite wall.
I mean, I'm starting to feel like let's take the jewels. Let's just go mad. I feel like I can probably kill us this week.
Do you want to do it?
Yeah, fuck it, let's go. See if I can take 8 damage in one choice.
The idol is very smooth and will be difficult to climb. Do you have
Whatever.
any rope?
No,
You don't.
implying that we could have gotten rope. This few
You might have
choices
found
in.
rope thus far. Slowly and carefully, you begin to climb the idol. You're about to grab hold of its large ear when suddenly your foot slips, and you get the choice now of testing your luck.
Yeah, let's do it. We got a luck of 7 right now. We took 2 luck damage. I do have a potion of fortune, but as I said, I don't feel like I can waste it. But I feel like I'm trying to waste myself now, so maybe I should waste it.
You need to get less than 7 with 2 dice.
I'll roll 1, you roll the other. We'll do this again.
Let's do it again. And remember, whenever you use your luck, you take 1 point off.
Yeah. So we're down to 6 after this.
Yeah. I got 1.
I got 2.
Yes. Right. Cool. You were lucky.
Very.
Your luck level is now at 6.
I'm going to mirror my camera. Ooh, look, everything's on the other side now. Oh wait, no, this means if I try and point at you, I actually will point at you. But
Well, you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that
way.
shit.
Oh wait, no, is that? Oh, it was the right way around before. Okay, let me reverse what I just did. Fucking idiot.
Speaking of getting lucky, Kel Brown is watching.
Yo.
Hey, Kel.
What's up?
Kel watched last week for the first time, so she's addicted now.
Oh, incredible.
Just addicted to us talking shite. She's probably not into the quest and stuff.
Well, this one's quite exciting because we are just about to die, like 4 choices in. Let's go. I want to push it.
Let's do it.
So we actually
you just managed to grab the idol's earlobe and regain your footing. You scramble over its face and sit down on the bridge of its nose. This is getting quite sexy.
Yeah. The bridge of its nose, like a pair of glasses.
Yes, exactly. Just you're like a human pair of glasses and a Buddha style idol. Whoever thought I would say that sentence out loud?
Not since I was 9.
You draw your sword and consider which jewel die to prize out first. Fucking hell, this is brutal, isn't it? You've got the choices of the left eye or the right eye.
I'll take the right eye. Let's go.
Are you going to? We're 59 minutes in. Maybe you want this to be a cliffhanger.
Oh yeah. Although, can I say if we die next week, which I'm feeling is very, very likely, can we start again? This is the only one I feel like we should start again if we die. Because death is ever looming.
Death is ever looming. Yeah, okay. If you die at the beginning of next week, we'll start again. What was your choice? Left eye or right eye?
I went right eye.
Do you want to do it now or next week?
We'll do it now and then go to one more choice. We'll leave the deleted scene then.
Okay, do you want to prize out the right eye? You try to force the point of your sword under the emerald eye. Much to your surprise, it shatters on contact, releasing a jet of poisonous gas straight into your face. The gas knocks you out, you fall backwards, bouncing down the idol to land on the stone floor. Your adventure ends here. You fucking died.
Oh, I died on the first set of choices. Okay, right, let me be clear. This name here, Augustus Just Trustus, is the name of a character that I have used in D&D a number of times. That character has died every time I've used that name. On one occasion, got dragged into hell by devils. So
That's
yeah,
ridiculous.
the saga of Augustus Just Trustus continues. The many deaths of Augustus Just Trustus.
You died. We're going to start again next week, right?
Yeah,
Fucking hell,
because this is episode 2. I mean, that's a new record. I wasn't even trying to die there. I was literally just trying to get that gem. This one, people that said this is like one of the better ones, they're right, because the sense of like impending doom is constant. I feel like it is possible to die every week for a whole season.
Yeah, honestly, I can't believe how I remember when this came out, right? I'll tell you when this book came out, right? We'll do the deleted scene in a minute. I know you want to go. This book first came out in 1984. I don't think I read it when it first came out, but I was probably about 8 or 9 years old. Imagine reading this book as a 9-year-old kid going, "Oh,
I've died again.
I'll never win this."
This is ridiculous. Like that, even if I was at full health, that would have killed me. And I wasn't at full health. I'd taken 10 damage.
Chris, you fucked this one, right?
Yeah.
Do you want to do your deleted scene?
Yeah, let's go back to that bell and
Let's
see
do
what
your
happened
deleted
if we
scene and
tried to
find out how
scream.
bad that works out for you. We're going
I
to
guarantee
do now, and
I'm
then we're going to
going
restart.
to. I'm going to bet. I'm going to bet that we scream with the bell, it resonates, and our head explodes.
I think it'll probably be something like that. Let's find out. If you're not interested in watching this deleted scene, then this has been Tight 10 on Titan. Hope you had a really good time watching Chris fuck this big style.
But there is a good chance I will die in this deleted scene.
There's a good chance you'll die in this deleted scene. So if you want to stick around and watch Chris die again, then feel free. Otherwise, this has been Tight 10 and Titan. And this has been Chris Ashworth.
And this has been John Carruthers.
Good night. But if you want to stick around for a deleted scene, it's coming now. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. I'm just answering a message here. Kel said, "I loved it when you mentioned Chris's name. The subtitle says Kiss."
There's a subtitles?
Yeah, the subtitles if you watch with no sound.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so there you go. So Kel's obviously watching with no sound because she doesn't want anyone that she's with to know that she's getting off on watching the two of us. But my reply was because I love him, because I love you, Chris. That's why.
Kiss.
That's why it says Kiss, because I love you. Chris and I were out in the sauce on Friday night, drinking 75.5% rum. I'm assuming Kel's not going to go back to the beginning of this, so she didn't hear that anecdote again. Here we go. So here we go. Here's your deleted scene, Chris, before we leave. Despite the terrible... So what happened, for anyone that's not seen, was there was a massive ringing bell and you had to find ways to stop it. And
the bell had already... I mean, I rang the bell and it had already dealt me 2 skill damage and 2 stamina damage.
So you had the choice of using your boot to stop it or screaming. And you used your boot and you survived. Let's see what happens if you'd screamed. Despite the terrible ringing sound in your ears, you hear footsteps coming down the tunnel. Your loud screams have attracted a tunnel guardian. Standing over you is a hobgoblin. His face bears a sickly smile as he presses the point of his sword against your neck. You're unable to defend yourself and prevent the hobgoblin from running you through. Your adventure ends here.
Fuck, this is brutal. We always seem to be one choice away from dying horribly.
At any
So,
given time.
so that makes sense because we went past the bell and then we found 2 hobgoblins in a tunnel. So I guess the bell didn't attract them, but as soon as they hear screaming,
Absolutely.
what
They
the
were too busy.
fuck?
I know.
So brutal.
I know. Do you love it?
It's
At
great.
any game, I have to say, every game we've played so far, there's always been that point where I think we could die this week. But there's
Yeah,
never a point. It's like kind of going, it could die this choice.
yeah, it could die.
Every
I could
single
die.
choice.
So let me think. We didn't open like we could have like not opening the box would have been fine. Following the footsteps to the east probably would have been fine. It
Probably
might
would have
not
been
have been. But going west, the first set of choices was ring the bell or don't ring. Don't ring the bell would have been fine. Ringing the bell was bad for us, and then the next choice after that is death. So that's 1, 2. Literally the fourth choice can kill you, and then we died on 5th, 6th, 7th choice. So the 4th and 7th choices killed us. Holy shit! This is
great, isn't it?
brutal. Yeah, this is fun. This is the one where like there's so many ways to get it wrong that we really do need to consider rebooting this many times.
Absolutely. The biggest question is, do we want to make next week's season 5 episode 1, or are we going to make it season 4 episode 3?
It's got to be the book. It's got to be the book that keeps the
Okay.
season. I think we stick with it because otherwise we're going to reach like season 50 by the time we finish this book.
Absolutely. Right, let's do it. Okay, no, I'm up for just pushing this as far as we can go to see if we can ever get you to the end of it.
Yeah.
We can make it entertaining. Right, anyway, we need to hit the road. It is 20 to 9.
Yeah, boy.
20 to 9. Chris and I aren't getting any younger.
No.
This has been episode 2, season 4 of Tight 10 and 9. I would go as far as to say a bit of a record breaker, wouldn't you, Chris?
Yep, I died twice on the second episode of
For
this
all the wrong
season.
reasons. This has been Chris Ashworth.
And this has been John Carruthers.
Good night.